How I choose where I am going to live, how I decide on what neighborhood I am going to reside in, what neighborhood I'm going to be buying property in. And as a matter of fact, as I am filming this coaching video, I am actively searching for a new home. And it's going to be a home that's going to be larger than the home I'm currently living in. I'm looking for a home with a 3-car garage and a lot of driveway space to make room for my growing car collection. But nonetheless, as I say in real estate, the only 3 things that matter are location, location, location. So when I am looking for a home, location is the number 1 key. And when I'm deciding on a city, on a town, on a community, the way I choose that city, town, and community is I look for the town that is the safest, okay, that has the lowest crime, okay, the lowest amount of violent crime, where I can come home and I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store at midnight. I don't have to, constantly just, look behind me or grow eyeballs in the back of my head when I'm just pumping gas in my car. I want to be safe. And I've worked very hard my entire life to get to where I am and to have the financial means to live in a safe area. So I'm going to choose the safest community possible, which I advise you to do, whatever your financial status is, right? Because what good is it to become successful if you're not going to live long enough to experience the fruits of your efforts, right? So with that said, when I am looking for a neighborhood to live in, and I'm just going to be blunt about this, I try to look for the neighborhood that has the lowest amount of single mothers. And I'm just being honest, right? Because when you find a neighborhood that has the lowest amount of crime, by default, that neighborhood is going to have the lowest amount of single mothers. Okay? Conversely, when you move into, or if you're currently living in, a very dangerous neighborhood, that neighborhood tends to have the highest level of single motherhood. Right? And so, just to be real frank, it's no secret. You could do the research yourself, which I've often done, and this is how I found the parallels, which I wasn't even surprised by, but I found the parallels with cities with the highest levels of violent crime in the United States ran parallel with the levels of single motherhood. So again, the higher the level of crime in that city, no surprise, the higher the amounts of single motherhood. And the lower amounts of crime, the lower amounts of single motherhood. So right now, just to give you a quick example, I'm looking in South Orange County, okay, mostly Irvine, Newport Beach, that area. And I'm looking at gated communities because that's, those are usually generally the safest communities. And I like to be able to just pull in and not have to worry about somebody following me. I like the fact that you will be stopped at the security gates if you're not a resident of the community. And, it's just, it's just part of just basic safety that, everybody should work towards. So you can, have the ability to live in safety where you don't have to worry about your life being ended prematurely over somebody's failed experiment that produced a child. So, yeah, and I'm somebody who grew up in a major city, right? A pretty dangerous city. I grew up in San Francisco, right? I grew up by the Haight Street during the 70s. Yeah, I'm that old. And there was a lot of crazy stuff going on. Drugs, needles, all this nonsense, right? Which is probably why I never got into drugs. I never got into drinking or any type of self-destructive behavior, just because I saw so many adults just laying in the street and just, it was just very jarring to see, growing up. And I remember just thinking to myself, wow, I never want to end up like that. Right? And my dad would always say, no, don't end up like that. However, make no mistake, the safest neighborhoods that you could possibly live in will always have the lowest amount of single moms, and they will be essentially a family community, right? So the neighborhoods I'm looking at now in South Orange County, it's mostly families, right? And I don't have a family, I don't have kids, right? But that is the neighborhood I choose to move into, just because it is safer than where I grew up, which was San Francisco, right? I grew up in the city, saw lots of craziness growing up, and the reason why, I stayed so long is just because that was home. That's all I knew, and I didn't really have anywhere else to go at the time. And I didn't really understand, I didn't have the knowledge that I do now, where I don't have to, I don't have to put myself at risk anymore. And I don't want to, right? I remember I was just watching this interview with Ice-T. You guys know who Ice-T is? He was a former gangbanger that became a rapper, became a successful rapper, then became a successful actor, and now he's just financially successful. He became a celebrity, right? And he talked about this in this interview where he says, they were asking him like, oh, you grew up with a lot of being in these gangs, a lot of violence, a lot of shootings. Can you imagine yourself like being there today? And he's like, no, I don't want to. He goes, I just want to live in peace. I want to enjoy my life. And he's like, I don't want beef or drama with anybody. Why? Because he's thriving. Guys who are thriving just want to enjoy their lives. Okay? They just want to live life to the fullest. And they want to experience life to the fullest. And the last thing they want to deal with is any nonsense from guys who are coping with life, or worse, failing at life. Because especially if you've been there before, which Ice-T has had, he's been there, right? I've been there. So I don't want to be around, guys like I was, right, back when I was younger. I don't want to be around that. It's just not something that I have time to deal with these days, because usually when you start thriving in life, the reason why you're thriving is because you're out there producing, right? You're producing value. You have a business or you have a career that is adding value to a lot of people's lives. Okay, and that's what you want to focus on, because that is what gives you joy. Just like me creating content for you guys, this is what gives me joy. This is what I want to do. I don't have to do it, right? I could retire if I want to, but I don't want to. I want to keep producing content for you because I love the emails I get from you guys. I love the fact that I see you guys growing and you guys give me updates. I read a lot of your comments, and I love being part of this community. So this is what I want to focus on doing. Besides my other business, I enjoy that too. I enjoy, getting involved with other budding entrepreneurs who are on the move and who have great products, and I just want to do things that are productive. There's nothing that I want to do that is self-destructive or that is, that is going to end my life prematurely. I don't want to get involved with dangerous things. There's just no point in doing that anymore, right? I used to do a lot of like stupid things in the past. I could think back on some dumb things that I did, and I'm like, how am I still here today? I don't know how I am, but I'm still here, right? I'm still alive and I'm still here, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And now I just want to enjoy the rest of the ride, right? With as little drama, as little chaos as possible. I just want to enjoy the ride, right? And the last thing that I would want to do is move into a brand new neighborhood where I have to continue to look over my shoulder, watch my back, worry about my car getting broken into. It's not even so much the car getting broken into. It's the time that it takes to bring the car to the dealership, leave it there, have them fix it, Uber back to my place, wait for them to call me with an estimate, pay for it, and then wait a few days, and then make time to go Uber back there and pick it up. I don't have time for that kind of stuff anymore. I rather just focus on my business. I rather just focus on producing, being of value in the world. Just as most other guys who are out there and they're no longer coping or failing with life, right? You just want to produce. You just want to be the best that you could possibly be and not have to deal with people's nonsense anymore, right? And this is why, it's easy for me to walk away when a guy who is coping or who is failing at life, which is unfortunately most guys out there, is trying to throw shade or is trying to troll or it's trying to provoke me to react, it's easy for me now because I know where that guy is because I used to be there, right? So I understand where he is, and it's just not a big thing to me because my focus is not on dealing with low value males. It's with dealing with high value males. And again, being a productive member of society and continuing to thrive, continuing to grow my business, grow my channel, help as many guys as I possibly can. That is where my focus is. Right? And a lot of it goes back to your environment, right? And I want to be in an environment where I don't have to worry about my safety. That's number one. Okay, that is the biggest thing because I like to walk around with as much freedom as possible without worrying, right? That somebody's hiding behind my car, or somebody's waiting to jump me, or somebody's waiting to rob me, or somebody's waiting to take something from me. I don't want to have to live with that worry if I'm just coming home. Okay, I can understand if I go back to the city, I'm hanging out in San Francisco. I mean, I go back to the city a lot, obviously, to see my folks. I still do boot camps in the city, in Los Angeles, SF, Vegas, and I still find myself in a lot of situations that are potentially very, very dangerous, right? When you get a guy who's reactive, or you might have you didn't know that that was his girlfriend, and I've certainly been in those situations many, many times and continue to do so. That's fine. I mean, I'm choosing to put myself in that situation because I'm trying to teach guys, right? I'm taking them out on boot camp, so that's fine. But when I'm going home where I just want to put my head down and lay down and sleep in peace, right? Without having to look out my window and worry what's going on in the street, that's where I draw the line, right? Because your home is your castle. And if you have the ability, if you have the means to, or even if you don't have the means to, you still want to choose the safest neighborhood that you possibly can. And the safest neighborhood that you can possibly choose at any time is going to be cities and towns and communities where they have the lowest rates of single mothers. And I'm just saying that because that's the facts. Do your research. That's what the data tells you, is the cities that are the safest have the lowest levels of single moms, right? The lowest populations of single mothers tend to be the safest areas. The most dangerous areas have the highest rates of single mothers. Why is that shocking? Why is that, why would anybody be offended that, you're stating facts? This is from the FBI statistics. So so right now I'm looking at South OC, and my girl is from there, and I never realized actually how safe it is out there till I started dating her, because I still live in LA, right? So I'm still dealing with a lot of that craziness, when you see homelessness, you just see all this crime going around. It's just insane, right? But because I grew up in the city, it doesn't really faze me that much. I'm kind of used to seeing some things like that, but my girl is totally just like shocked by that behavior, even though, the OC is only 45 minutes away from LA. She's just totally astounded by that behavior. But, now that I'm dating her more seriously and I'm spending a lot of time in her community where she grew up, which is, by Newport Beach, I'm seeing like, man, this is like super relaxing. I'm like, it's super relaxing to just go to sleep and not hear like loud music outside, or like car windows breaking or alarms going off, or just all sorts of craziness nonstop 24/7. It's really it's really peaceful. So I'm getting to that stage in life where quality of life is important to me. And, having spent a lot of time in her neighborhood made me realize, like, this is the type of neighborhood I want to move to next, because I don't know anything else but the city, right? I don't know anything else but city life. I've always lived in the city. I grew up in the city. I was born and raised in the city, and I still live in the city, right? So, I mean, right now I'm right over the hill from Hollywood. So, anyway, I thought I'd bring this up for this coaching video because a lot of you guys have asked me, like, hey, I'm moving because, the pandemic's over and I'm working from my laptop and I don't know where to go. Where should I go? Where should I move, Em? And I've told every single one of you guys, wherever you move to an area that has the lowest rates of single motherhood. Because that'll be the safest area, right? Because I want you to live. I want you to survive. And even if you do survive, I don't want your car getting broken into. I don't want your laptop getting stolen out of your front seat. Okay? I don't want you to experience this craziness. And my cars have been broken into in the past. Luckily, knock on wood, my Range Rover's never been broken into. Could be because I have cameras in this car that are on 24/7, and I get notifications on my phone if anybody bumps into my car or anybody tries to open the door. I get an immediate text message, and I know exactly where my car is at all times. Right? So I have something called a black view. It's called. I'm sure they're better dash cams now, but I have a black view in my Range Rover that I got. I think it was like 3 years ago. I got the latest model black view that does all that stuff. But either way, yeah. So when you guys ask me, where should you move to? If you're thinking about moving now, if you have the option where you're working remote now and you're looking for a new place to move to, that is my suggestion for you. Move to the safest community that you possibly can, that you can possibly afford, preferably if there are gates around that community, because you'll realize how peaceful it is where you can sleep at night and you don't have to worry, right? Your car's in there, your car's protected, your home's protected. This isn't to say that there's somebody in the community won't try to steal from you, but in most cases, they won't, right? It won't be nearly as bad as if you were living in a non-gated community, whether it be a housing community, an apartment complex, right? You name it. But, you want to move to the safest areas possible, and those areas are always going to be the ones that have the lowest rates of single motherhood. So, might be a little polarizing, but I'm just being frank, just being honest, just being real. So if you have anything to say, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If I missed anything, go ahead and drop those comments below. Let me know what you think about tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything that I might have missed, drop them in the comments below. I always love to see you guys in my comments. I always love to read your comments. So drop those comments below. And until next time, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets, signing out here from my Range Rover, right? This is one of the last series of coaching videos I'm doing here in my Range Rover. It's still hard. It's really hard to let this car go, but this is the last series of coaching videos I'm doing in here. So don't forget to smash the like button below. Smash that like button right now. Also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my AlphaMaleSecrets channel. I've been checking my analytics, man, and too many of you guys are still not yet subscribed to the AlphaMaleSecrets channel here on the YouTube. So please make sure you're subscribed as well. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and just help a brother out and subscribe. And for you guys who love my work and all of this amazing content I'm teaching you here on the AlphaMaleSecrets, the best way to support my work is becoming a premium member of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm protecting my content from YouTube in the event they try to shut me down one day. They won't be able to, because all my content will be protected. It is being protected on my private platform. So this is the absolute best way to support my work, is becoming a premium AlphaMaleSecrets subscriber on my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which is being hosted on a private platform. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium AlphaMaleSecrets content from me. So take advantage of it. Okay, all you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.